Hey everyone, this is Pete. Today we're doing a little test stream. I was originally going to do some UFO 50 today, but I discovered that my PC that I use for streaming isn't quite up to the job of running OBS and UFO 50 at the same time. It runs a little bit too slowly. So I switched plans and decided that we'd go and do a bit of Evercade instead. And I thought we'd have a play with one of the most recent releases on the console, which is Thalamus Collection 1. A collection of C64 classics from what a lot of C64 enthusiasts would probably agree was one of the best developers and publishers on the platform. And this collection is a cross-section of almost all of their big hits. The only one that's not here is the original Delta. From what I understand, the rights for that are in a peculiar position. So that's not here, but we've got all the other big classics here. We've got both Creatures games, we've got Hawkeye, we've got Hunter's Moon, the remastered version from 2018, Summer Camp, Winter Camp, Snare, Heat Seeker, which is one of the strangest games imaginable, and all manner of other things. So just to sort of test things out today and make sure things are working correctly, I was going to play a few of these games. We'll talk a bit about some of them and we'll see how we get on. If anyone is out there and is having trouble hearing me, please let me know and I'll adjust the volume levels. Otherwise we will just continue as is. Right, so I think we'll start with a bit of Armalite. So Armalite is an oft-cited favourite from Thalamus' library, regarded by many as a rival to the top arcade shoot-em-ups of the area, specifically R-Type, it's often compared to. Blast your way through a series of challenging stages as you fight back against the Scythian Khanate, collecting munitions pods along the way to power up your ship. Shooting a munitions pod causes it to cycle around the available weapons upgrades. So this is actually Armalite Competition Edition, which was released a little while after the original version, and it's got a few little tweaks and refinements from the original game that polishes it up nicely. So let's just check the controls. So it's a shoot 'em up, so it's not terribly complicated. That might look like there's a lot of controls, but most of those are just to change options. So we've got B to fire, hold the fire button down for a super weapon, and then we've got Y to change your super weapon. So let's play. Right, here we are. So I'm just going to jump in with the default settings. So now you can tweak a bunch of things like the bullet speed and the difficulty and what the starfield looks like and so on. But we'll just go for it. Hit the fire button and off we go. So like I say, this is a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up in the R-Type style. It's quite a strong emphasis on collecting power-ups. Unlike a lot of arcade games from the period, you actually keep your power-ups when you die in this one, which is rather nice. It means that as long as you take the time to get those power-ups in the first place, you can get yourself into a nice position quite early in the level and proceed from there. So the power-ups we've got so far, we've got an improvement to the forward shot, which makes it fire a little bit more rapidly. We've got a backward shot, and we've got a vertical shot going up and down. So from that, we can deal death in all directions. So the power-ups are these little blue pods here. You shoot repeatedly to change what you get when you pick them up. If you don't shoot them at all when you pick them up, you just get a shield for a few seconds, which makes you completely invincible, including to the scenery. So that's very useful for getting through some of the trickier parts of the levels, where it might be a bit of a tight fit otherwise. Whoopsie daisy. And that red blob icon there, I believe, is the battery for your special weapons, which you fire by holding down the fire button. You see the default one there is like a thick laser like that. You've got two others as well. battery there. Made us invincible for a few seconds so we didn't get killed by the scenery. And it also refilled the battery meter, which is on the status panel down at the bottom. Whoops. So if we hit Y, we can change... Oh dear. I was going to say, if you hit Y, you can change to a different weapon. And that's reflected by a little letter that's on the status bar at the bottom. If you look on the bottom left, you can see it going A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. You'll also notice that your battery gradually charges up over time. So as well as collecting the power-ups, you can also just wait for it to recharge. But if you're in a particularly dangerous situation, you might not want to wait. You might want to try and just grab the battery recharge power-up. I believe you can actually stock extra charges as well. Yeah, I think that one there that I picked up might allow you to stock extra charges of battery. So special weapon B is a wide-ranging laser blast like that. I think it's slightly less powerful. That's how it makes up for the wider area that it covers. Just to be fair. Oh dear. And then special weapon C is another laser. It just sort of fires for a little bit longer. So they're all quite similar. They're all useful for clearing a path through a bunch of enemies. I guess they're quite situational in what they do. You've probably noticed there's two ships flying around instead of just one. You can play this game two-player, but when you're playing single-player, you have this satellite thing that follows you around. By default it follows you, but you can also lock it in position. In Evercade you do that by pressing the A button and then just, oops, then it just stays where it is until you press A again and it starts following you again. And that's about everything you need to know, really. The important things to get familiar with to get good at this game are how to manage the power-ups, how to make good use of that invincibility that the power-ups give you, oops, and how not to die. So, not doing great on that latter front so far. Let's have another go. This time, maybe yammering on a bit less will I can do a little bit better. Let's get those up and down shots, because those are very useful in this initial scenario here. The back shots are nice, but I don't think they're as essential as the up and down shots. Blast all around yourself is very useful. So this is a game very much designed in the R-Type mode. Relatively sedately paced, as you can see, but it just sort of throws quite a lot of stuff at you at the same time. Oops. And remember, this is the easiest bullet speed setting we're playing on at the minute. Ratchet things up quite considerably if you decide that the game's too easy for you. Now, as far as I'm aware, picking up multiples of the same power-up doesn't seem to do anything. Oops. once you've got the full loadout of weapons, you may as well try and get some extra batteries in stock. The other important thing to do is to remember to use those special weapons, because I find I often forget that they're there. And they do come in handy. Especially when you're being swarmed. I think the B one is probably my favourite, just because it covers the widest area. The A one is good for sort of single, more powerful enemies. If you're facing a big swarm of stuff, the B weapon will help clear a path. Oh, that's the end of the level. It's boss time. Now would probably be a good time for that A weapon, so we'll just fired off the B one. I am not very smart. Oh, oh, that was silly. That was silly. But not bad. Let's go again. One of the trickier aspects to get started with this is keeping an eye on your ship rather than the drone. Because with both of them moving around the screen, it's actually quite easy to get distracted and think that the drone is you, or vice versa. That can get you into a bit of trouble. Now, of course, like I say, you can just leave the drone where it is if you want to. Concentrate on firing yourself. But it is useful to have the drone around, because it adds to your firepower, it adds to the area that you can cover with your shots. And it's just a little robot buddy for you to have around, which is nice. Oh dear. So yeah, this is one of several very good shoot 'em ups on the C64. A lot of the sort of more hardcore fans of like Japanese style shoot 'em ups sometimes turn their noses up a bit at European developed shoot 'em ups, especially those on microcomputers, but there are some very good ones. This is one of them. But yes, it does borrow liberally from R-Type, and that's probably why it's good. Oh! But it has a few nice ideas of its own as well. Like the using the shield to pass through areas of the scenery is something that's used in several C64 shoot 'em ups actually. There's several on Evercade, in fact, that use a very similar sort of idea of picking up a power-up to make you invincible for a few seconds in order to get through tricky scenery elements. And in fact, one of them, I think it's Subterranea. Actually, pretty much requires that you do that in order to get through some levels. It gives you outright dead ends that you have to get a shield in order to pass through. Which is a fun idea. this game does take prompts from the best, in that it's clearly learnable. You can memorise where all the enemies are, learn the levels, get better at it. That one. Oh no! Except I seem to be getting worse. Absolute disaster. Absolute chaos this time. But it's good. I do always feel that this game is treating you fairly. Maybe there. Not sure what happened there. Oh dear. Let's try again. I'm not entirely sure why that front shot one is there, because I'm not convinced it does anything. Like the fourth one clearly does, because it makes your shots more rapid, I think. But the first one just seems to be a power-up that's there to be inconvenient. Maybe it increases your shot down slightly, I don't know. One of the troubles with home computer games of the era is that the documentation was often a little bit lacking. They kind of sorted that out in the 16-bit era, but when you're talking about 8-bit games in particular, you often get the impression that the author of the game knew their game really well and thought some things about it went without saying, and thus didn't bother to include them in the manual. Or, which I suspect is probably the more likely scenario, is the manual was written by someone else from the software company, not knowing everything about the game. Which, as someone who writes manuals for a living now, for these old games, is a position I can completely sympathise with. Because, good lord, I've had some challenges in putting together the instruction manuals for these games. Because sometimes those instructions just don't seem to exist in the first place. In a lot of cases, original documentation has been archived online, which is massively helpful for my job. So thank you to anyone who has participated in preservation efforts for classic gaming documentation. You are really some of the unsung heroes of retro gaming. Oops. Oh, there we go. Well done. That wasn't even the end boss. That wasn't the end of the level. That was a midpoint boss. Now we have to go through these crushy things. Oops. Too early. Overeager. Damn it. I've at least got enough to get a high score now. Pop my name in. Okay. Lovely stuff. Right, let's have one more go, and then we'll maybe move on to something else. I'm having a good time here. I do like these Thalamus games. For some, I'm sure they're going to be a little bit of a hard sell because they are very challenging. But C64 heads have been asking for them for ages. And I think probably even more so than the previous C64 collections we've done. I think these games are probably a lot more palatable to an audience who grew up with consoles. Particularly with how we've consoleized them for Evercade with control mappings and stuff like that. Faffing around with keyboard controls. Not that this game is a particularly complicated one in the first place, so it's probably a bad example. But there we go. First chat on here. Welcome. To be charitable and assume you're not a bot. We shall see, I guess. Please feel free to ask anything about what you're seeing. I will do my best to explain to the best of my ability. When I'm not dying horribly, that is. Ah. It's going pretty well up until that point. And then lost 2 lives in rapid succession. I'm not sure if you get extra lives in this actually. If you do, I think you get the mystical boundaries where I'm not good enough to reach them. Oh dear me. Alright, okay, enough Armalite for now. Let's have a go at something else. Let's have a go at Hawkeye. This is one I'm rather fond of. As the half-man, half-robot synthetic life-form codenamed Hawkeye, you seek revenge on behalf of the Zamoxian people against the Scrixis. To that end, you must break through 12 secure sectors by collecting puzzle pieces and blasting anything that stands in your path. Destroy your foes using the 4 available weapons, and collect additional ammunition and items as you continue on your way. Hawkeye was first released in 1988. It was the commercial debut of a Dutch demo scene group known as the Boys Without Brains. The group is still around today, though it left behind both game development and the demo scene long ago. It's now an IT agency that advises on software architecture, develops web and mobile apps, and offers support in the field of website maintenance and hosting. I found this hilarious when I was researching the documentation, because this text here, I wrote this text as well. But yeah, I found it absolutely hilarious to do some research on the Boys Without Brains and just discover that yeah, they're now like a really boring sounding IT consultancy firm, basically. Just posting a link to the stream in the few places just to see if anyone fancies showing up. And there we go. Yes. Right. So yeah, I wrote the this text here, and it was it was very funny to discover. It was very funny to discover the fate of the boys without brains. So once making games about big, burly, musty cyborgs, and now they make boring stuff. But I'm sure they do it very well. I'm sure they do it very well. Alright. Well, I didn't check the controls on this one. So, this one is fire and jump basically, but then you also have a bunch of weapons that you can select with the other buttons. So, X is pistol, Y is machine gun, left shoulder button, L1 is laser, and right shoulder button, R1, is rocket launcher. Let's do it. Right, so in this game, your job as Hawkeye is to find what it calls puzzle pieces, which are these things. Which actually look a bit more like sort of DNA stripes, but the game calls them puzzle. The game instructions from back in the day called them puzzle pieces, so that's what I'm going to call them also. You have infinite pistol ammo, which is good because enemies keep respawning, as you can see. So this is where whipping out one of the other weapons is a good idea. Let's get the machine gun. Wipe them out a bit more quickly, it's a little bit more powerful. Switch back to the pistol to move along. Now, in order to find the puzzle pieces, which are invisible until you get close to them, you have to follow the Hawkeyes on the UI at the top. So you see the eye on the right is flashing now. That indicates the next puzzle piece or a power-up. It's either a puzzle piece or a power-up. You follow the flashing eye until you reach the thing you're looking for. There it is. One more to go. This one is back to the left. So you can't collect the puzzle pieces out of order because they only appear one at a time. And there is our next thing. And you'll see it's a heart-shaped thing rather than a DNA sequence. So that's not a puzzle piece. That is a power-up. Which restores our power bar on the UI at the top. And it's onwards back to the right hand side for the next power-up, which refills our laser ammunition, which we haven't used any of. Continue on to the right. Machine gun out to deal with these fellows. And there's our last one. Proceed to the end of the level and win! Hooray! This is one thing I find kind of hilarious about C64 games in particular. And a lot of them have incredibly jolly music that seems somewhat not quite in keeping with the tone of the game otherwise. You see we have a big muscle-bound man who appears to be wearing nothing but a pair of pants. And you've got this gibbing. It just makes me laugh. Warping to waterfalls. Right. Next stage will tell us the next level because my status panel is a different colour. Our first puzzle piece is to the left of where we start. Some big boogers. Oops! Let me bring out the bigger guns for this. Oh, there it is. It'll be right next to the puzzle piece. That's nice, isn't it? Back to the right to the next one. Them for machine gun. Let's do current weapon is indicated on the status bar with a little grey bar underneath it to show what its ammunition level is. Oh no! That big thing with the tail is not pleasant. We might need the laser to deal with him. The machine gun. I'm out of machine gun bullets. Versus. So you can hopefully see, although this game has respawning enemies and those can be quite annoying, they do all follow quite clear patterns. I mean, if you're paying attention, you can avoid them quite easily. There are exceptions like that dude there. Oh, whoops! Oh, I've got all the pieces. I should be finishing with that. Marvellous. See what I mean? Bingy bungy bingy bungy bingy bungy bungy. It's not what you expect from this game if you look at the box art and the metal skulls there and the guy in his pants and the fact he's being electrocuted for some reason. Because he's a cyborg, I guess. I guess he's recharging or something like that. Adjusting the audio levels a bit. I realised that the game might have been a little bit loud there. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Now, I must confess... Oh dear. I must confess I've not actually seen this level before. We've got some very fast enemies on this one. There we go now. Still left. Oh, oops! Oh, for rockets, presumably. Back to the right. Okay, so lead us where we need to go, as always. Can I destroy you? Yes. But a weapon other than the pistol would have been more efficient for that, certainly. Ah, it's a dinosaur. Machine gun ammo. There we go now. Still right. Laser gun ammo. I should definitely be using these special weapons more because you seem to get plenty of ammo for them. So let's, for example, use the laser on this. There we go. That's much easier, isn't it? Oh, another one. Any primates? Oh no! Out of ammo. Alright, where are we going? Where are we going? Right there. I'm up top and I can't get down there. No! Leave me alone. Yeah, there is no jump down through platform control in this, so if you're up top... Uh-oh. Oh. Well, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad at all. Top of the high score table even. Practice, yes or no? I think you can just, yeah, you can just press the fire button to go back to the beginning at that point. So there is this sort of quasi-continue feature in a lot of Thalamus' games where you can practice the stage you got to, because these were originally multi-load games. You'd have to load in sections as you got to each level. They would load individually from cassette or disc, and because that took quite a while, particularly in the case of cassette games, you would have the opportunity to practice a later stage that you got to. So you wouldn't be able to progress beyond it, but you'd be able to sort of give it a go and get to grips with it before going back to the beginning of the game for another proper attempt. Right, let's try again. Get ready. The important thing with this game is being decisive, I think. Because if you're sort of half-assed about it, then you'll run into situations like we had in our first go where these guys start spawning in by the hundreds. And that can make your life very difficult indeed. That's 3. And then the next one is a power up, I think. It's always the same. There's no randomization in this, it's always the same. So again, like in Armorlight, you can learn the levels in this. Get to grips with what is where and what happens when. Okay, that's all our puzzle pieces. Kill the big dude there because he's worth a fair few points. Points! They are important. Fancy music. Let's have our bonuses if you please. So you get bonuses based on how much energy you got left and how much ammunition you got left in your weapons. So, yes, you can save your ammunition for your weapons and get a nice bonus from it. You see that each weapon is worth progressively more. So the laser shots are worth the most. So I believe that means that they're the most powerful. Let us proceed to the waterfalls. Right, so off to the left first of all. To make good use of our special weapons to deal with the more powerful enemies this time. Oh, or just standing in their path of dying. That's good too. Missiles. Let's try the missile. Maybe the rocket launcher is more powerful. Where are we going? Right. roundabout now. No, we got one of them instead. Oh! You know what? I had that in my head that was going to happen. I was going to laugh at him for falling down a hole, and then I would fall down the hole straight after him. And then, what do you know? That happened. I didn't intend it for that to happen, but it most certainly did. Oh dear. This is not going quite so well this time. Definitely not going quite so well. I think avoiding the big insecty thing is probably the way forward at this point. Right. 3 of the things. Yeah, so 2 rockets to get rid of one of those gorillas. Try the laser. Yeah, 4 laser shots. So the rocket launcher is the most powerful, but for some reason you get the most points for the number of laser shots you have left. Which is odd, but no, I'm not gonna complain at some bonus points. That's all the pieces, and that's the end of the level. Marvellous. I like how he looks up like a cat. And he's like, yes, yes, I know I'm about to be electrocuted for bonus points, but it's happening. I may as well just deal with it. Maybe it's like taking a shower for him. Total bonus 15,600 points. Very nice indeed. Only 1 life left though. Warping to the moon! I didn't notice that first time around that we're going to the moon for the 3rd level. It's quite the escalation. Where are we going? Which way? Left. Fair enough. Yeah. Oh god, I can't hit them crouching down. Yeah, so when they show up, run! Basically. Oh, I can't hit them. Just I couldn't hit them with the rockets for some reason. So dinosaur buddy. And it's back to the left. Grabby hands can't reach me up here. Laser. No, 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 no. Let me through. It's all very dangerous. Right, back to the right for the next one. Oh, I've got an extra life from somewhere. Evidently you do get extra lives in this one. Unlike Armalite. We're out of lasers. I'm no longer out of lasers. There we go. Left. Oh, this is the one that was down at the bottom, wasn't it? Stay on the bottom layer. Why did I lose health from there? Or has it just suddenly decided to start sounding the alarm for no apparent reason? Right, all done. Onwards to level's end, running away from sheep. Which is what that appears to be. There's some life. Let's get that. Yeah, I can make it. I can make it. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. There we go. Oh. Would a dinosaur friend, or should we shoot? Yeah, shoot dinosaur friend. I'm sure he's worth a lot of points. Oh, he killed himself. Fair enough. And there's the end of the level. Wow. Yeah, officially got further than I've ever been in this game before. So where do we go after the moon, I hear you ask? And the answer is, I don't know yet. But let's find out. Nice hefty bonus. Warping to Blue Monday. On the status bar is in blue. What are you doing, Thalamus? What are you even doing? Not sure why it's giving you rocket ammo is the first thing you can collect. No, no. Confronted with pretty much every enemy we've faced so far. Chew through that machine gun ammo rapidly. Let me through. Laser ammo is exactly what I needed. I guess if you really wanted to optimize your playthrough for this, you would remember the order the power-ups come up in, and you would use your special weapons in that order, so that like you get through a difficult encounter using the laser weapon because you know the laser pickup is is coming next. Right again. Get some health right about now. Ask and you shall receive. Back left again. There it is. Left some more. That was easy. Suspiciously so. Suspiciously so. Hope the rest of the level is uh-oh. Ouch. Safe. Absolutely fine. Onwards and upwards. 1,800. Very generous indeed. Warping to the forest. Isn't this... No, it's not where we started. I thought the first level was the forest for some reason. Oh! Okay, that's a pit. Oh, hello, you're big. I'm going the wrong way. No! Let right down that bloody hole. Right down the bloody hole. Okay. Let's remove my initials from last time. That's very generous of it. Practice, yes or no? Let's go with no for now. Alright. Let's take a break and switch to something else. What should we play next? Let's have a go at Retrograde. This is quite an interesting game. So move warrior with D-pad, A for jump in ducts, B for fire, and that's about all you need to worry about, really. So 7 planets in the Thwok system have been conquered, and your home planet Choom is next. It's your job to battle through the conquered planets and destroy the alien nerve centers that have corrupted them. Airborne aliens will drop diamond-shaped Araturkans, or temporary shields when destroyed, while ground-based enemies will drop the star-shaped planet buster charges you need to blast a path to the nerve center. Head to the shop to spend your Ara and acquire new weaponry, upgrade your existing equipment, or prime planet buster charges. Once you have a primed planet buster, head to a duct entrance and fight your way to its guardian. Loading screens in this game can be skipped. When you see a loading screen, just press the B button to proceed rather than waiting for the counter to expire. So, Retrograde is a game by John and Steve Rowlands, also known as Apex Computer Productions. It was first released in 1989 and is the sequel to Cyberdyne Warrior, which is also on Evercade. Right, let us play. Alright, press fire to start. Right, so this game is a sort of I guess you call it sort of Defender style scrolling shoot 'em up. You move left and right across the planet surface, you shoot stuff. And the initial stages of the game are a bit of a grind, because what you have to do is just repeatedly blast enemies until you've got some money. Because you need money in order to progress. There's basically 2 things you need money for. One, you need it for getting new weapons for your suit, which is important to help you survive, basically. 2, you need it for priming those planet buster charges, which you need a bunch of in order to actually finish each level. So our money readout is in the top right corner. Let's see how much stuff costs. So it costs 100 for a shot, or 150 for a sort of directional shot. So let's come back. Let's come back when we got a bit more money. Let's try and get it so we've got sort of a spread shot up and down. Because just that little bit of additional firepower really helps in these sequences. Now this game is quite generous compared to some shoot 'em ups from this era, because you'll notice you've got an energy bar at the top, rather than just being destroyed the second you touch something, like in Armalite. The one mildly tricky thing though is that there's no invincibility frames. So if you get hit, you're going to continue to take damage while you're over whatever was causing damage to you. So if for example you sort of hover over an enemy, you will repeatedly take damage while you're still in contact with that enemy. So ideally you want to try and keep your distance a bit. And try and get some weaponry. Alright, so let's pop a radiant in that slot. Let's pop a radiant in that slot as well. That means we've now got three-way shooting. Which will make the destruction a little bit easier. You can power up your weapons as well as buying new ones. But to begin with, certainly I found it's probably better to try and cover a wider area. And watch the various enemies to figure out their attack patterns, because although they do come thick and fast, most of them can be avoided. Right, we're down on the planet's surface now. You do need to go down there and defeat some enemies at some point, because they are the ones that are going to provide you with the planet busters. And for some reason you can't shoot when you're on the ground. You can only punch. Right, that is a planet buster. So I've got to pick that up. And you'll see that next to my currency counter at the top, it now shows a little star to show that I'm carrying a planet buster. And what you need to do next is go back to the shop. And you need 500 to prime your planet buster. So time for a little bit more grinding. To 350. You'll soon figure out which are the easier targets. I think the colour of things determines how tough they are in a lot of cases. So grey stuff tends to be a bit tougher than other colours. I think green might be the weakest. But also different enemies have different baseline strengths as well. Like the little bubble things are a lot easier to kill than some of the others. The dudes are quite easy to kill as well, although they move quite erratically, which can make them a little bit of a pain. Right, we've got 500 now, so let's head to the shop. Planet Buster purchased, Planet Buster primed. So what you do then is you have to find Event, which is one of these. And you go into that just like you do in the shop, and it's into a short platforming sequence in which you punch out mechs. You have to make it down to the bottom. Again, ideally trying to minimise the damage you take as much as possible. And again, you have the same shield bar here rather than one-hit deaths. But again, you have no invincibility frames, so I'm just trying to avoid being in contact with the enemy for as long as you can. Oh. So we're nearly here. We just have to... There we go. Just have to deal with the last enemy in the vent to destroy it. And then you repeat the whole process. So there's several vents on each planet that you need to destroy. In the same way. Upgrading your weapons along the way. And that power icon there, I believe that restores your shield. And it also makes it sort of flicker for a while. I don't think it makes you completely invincible, but I think it might make you a bit stronger for a bit. No, because yeah, you can see that the shield is still declining while we are in this flashing white state. Like I said before, documentation for games from this period was often a bit lacking, and that is one of those features where the documentation for this game is a bit lacking. It didn't really explain some of these things. And yes, in a lot of cases you can figure things out for yourself, and in many cases it was by design that you had to figure things out for yourself. If anyone's been enjoying UFO 50 recently, you will know that pretty much all of the games in that collection have been designed in such a way that you don't really have any instructions to begin with besides what the basic controls are. And you are then expected to figure the rest out for yourself. And it is possible to do that. It is possible to do that. It's easy to get stuck in the modern gaming mindset where every game needs a 2-hour tutorial that teaches you how to move. But give me a planet buster, please. No. Planet buster. Anytime now would be good. Oh, I wonder if it's always the green enemies that gives them to you. I don't know, you know. That's something to keep an eye on. Now, that vent we have cleared, so we don't need to clear it again. But we do need to go back to the shop and prime this planet buster, just like we did the first one. There it is. Right, planet buster, prime, and onwards. Right, so not that one. Yes, that one. And again, repeat the process from before. Jumpy, jumpy, punchy, punchy, destroy, destroy. I love the way everything moves in this. It's like it's on rubber bands. And those little mechs who poke their heads out the holes. Go, hello. Hello. It was still an era where a lot of games didn't take themselves very seriously. So like, even in a situation where things are ostensibly fairly hard sci-fi, as in this, there's still pleasingly silly elements. I appreciate any game where you're punching out mechs as a major part of the gameplay. You can upgrade your punch as well. That's one of the things you can spend your money on. A bit low on health. Can we just throw these? Yes, we can. Ow! Cheeky bugger. That's another life gone. I think what the POW thing did was it basically gave us an extra layer of shield for the current life. So it's almost like having an extra life, basically. Alright, all done. Right, that is the end of that level. And as it said in the intro, you can skip these loading sequences just by pressing the button. The music will fade out. And it will take you to the boss stage. So in this sequence, you have to blow off all the bits of the boss first, while avoiding its missile attacks. This is another reason why having the spread shot is very useful. It lets you sit out of the way of these lasers. You just have to concentrate on avoiding the missiles. For some reason. Maybe I should have powered up my guns a bit. Right, that's one down. Let's try and get the other one done a little bit quicker. Because we do have a time limit, as you can probably see in the lower left of the screen. To the last life. Die, please. Right, what is next? Pointy bit on the front. I think I'm going to survive this. No, there we go. Death. Again, we can skip the load screen just by pressing the B button. Alright, let's have another go at that, because I do like this game. It's peculiar. It's peculiar, particularly compared to other shoot 'em ups from the periods, but I think it's interesting. So let's have another go. Maybe let's spend even more time getting some weapons. Powering them up a bit. So there is a limit to how many weapons you can equip at once, and the total amount of power you have. So you unfortunately can't completely overwhelm your enemies with ridiculous firepower. Although you can get pretty ridiculous even within those limits. So it was what, 150 for a diagonal shot, wasn't it? taking a bit of a beating. The enemies on the ground don't drop any money, incidentally, if you hadn't already noticed. So if you want money, you need to take to the skies. Nearly up to 300. There we go. Right, so let's get these ones. And let's also aim to get the wider diagonal shots as well, because I think that will be helpful. There goes a life. Blast the ball! So what you'll find is once you've got a couple of weapon upgrades, your rate of earning will probably go up. So you see it's taking quite a bit less time to get up to 300 out of Mommy Milker's points. Last time. Right. Let's get some more. More radians. So let's have those ones. And those ones. I like how it taunts you with the weapons you can get later in the game. Right from the beginning. So it's like, if you play long enough, if you're good enough at this game, you'll be able to use all these weapons, but you can't have them now. Because we are mean. So you see, we've got a much wider spread now. Which will make it much easier. Oh, still losing lives though. Need to let all those diagonal shots do the work. I think I did just get an extra life. Maybe, possibly, did I? I don't know. Right, we've got the power thing. And it made the C64 noise. That bow 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 noise that's in pretty much every C64 game. Right, 600 points. 600 ADA, I should say. And we just need a planet buster. Is it always the green ones? Let's find out. I think it might always be the green ones, you know. Again, not something it tells you in the original documentation. But helpful to know. Right, let's prime that bad boy. And go set it off. Ouch. Oh, you you can control yourself while you're falling, so you can't avoid that thing that otherwise appears to be unavoidable. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, 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 punch. Yeah, see, now my POW thing ran out. I haven't lost a life, but I got another full energy bar. So POW basically gives you a free life on top of what you've already got. Oh, nearly avoided it that time, but I didn't. Let me down here. That's one down. Time to earn some more big bucks. Oh, or ram repeatedly into things that hurt me. Also good. Watch out for green enemies down below. There goes another life. There's one. Yeah, it is always green ones. Okay, that's good to know. I did not know that before. And now you do too. Come on, nearly up to 600, 500 rather. There it is. To the shop we go. No, that's not what I meant to do. Planet Buster. Prime that bad boy. And off we go. Damn it. Be careless. I'm not confident that we'll have a lot of health left to deal with the boss, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's all we can do. Maybe we'll get an extra life along the way. Who knows? Who knows indeed. Those big statues. Very Warhammer. This whole game's quite Space Marine-y. Avoid. No! Should have remembered him from last time. Right, destroy the big suggestive looking piston thing. And deal with the mech. And then we are done. Magnifique. Onwards. See if I can hit it with 2 diagonal shots at once. That should, in theory, mean that we destroy white tires as quickly. One down. Death. Death. Come on, death. Die. Right. On to the middle bit. And tank a few hits from missiles here. Come on. Come on. 24 seconds. I feel I'm not going to make this. Right, yeah. I was going to say, I'm going to die anyway. Oh dear. Nowhere near any of those high scores, are we? Right, let's do something else. What shall we do now? Let's have a go at... I want to do something I haven't done a video about. So I've already done Heatseeker and Hunter's Moon videos. So let's maybe have a go at... Let's play some Nobby. So, Antopia is a land of ants and a culinary delight to the likes of Nobby the Aardvark. Across 8 levels, Nobby must leap through the Wild West, explore the ocean depths and greet the inhabitants of the fabled city Atlantis with a well-aimed ant. He will enjoy a hectic ride in a hot air balloon, arm wrestle with an octopus and escape from a monster-filled maze. He'll even have a laser battle with the mutants of Mars. Each level unfolds just a little differently from the last, so be ready for a varied challenge. So this was Thalamus' last 8-bit game. It continued to do some 16-bit stuff after that, and then quietly disappeared for a while. But it's been reborn in more recent years as an indie publisher. They do a lot of stuff on itch, and they do a lot of modern retro stuff as well, which is cool. So, controls. Move Nobby, A for jump, B for fire, X for change weapon on level 2 and 4. So this is a tricky game. This is a tricky game, but it's very nicely presented. stealing a selection of goodies. Hey, buddy, you're just about to become lunch. Gee, pal, don't do that. Don't you know his ant is poisonous? Not to me, you ain't. Look, Dad, spare me and I'll tell you of a place. It's positively overrun with nice, fat, juicy ants. Okay, Ant, spill the beans. And you'll live to see your next birthday. Well, let's go to Antopia, blah, 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 etc. Aha! I think that's where I should go. Where I should go. Plot. Unusual for a C64 game. But yes. Right. Let us begin. Level 1, America, 1951 AD. Right. So. This is a platform game. With a rather brutal challenge level. So, everything kills you in this game. You also get points for sucking up ants. Because he is an ant-eater after all. Or an aardvark, more specifically. Right, I'll give you a handy tip in this game. Oops. Before you even think about trying to climb up here. Oops. Head all the way over to the left. And make sure you get this oil. Oh, what's this here then? Acme General Purpose Industrial Lubricant. I like how he's sort of implied to talk in a sort of New York accent in the intro, but then he's like, ooh, what's this here then? In the game itself. Right, so we hop, get down here. So yes, the ants are also your weapon, as you can probably see. So onwards this way. Oh, no, careful. In-game hardback sounds like Bert from Trapdoor. Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's easy. It's easy to forget sometimes that Thalamus games were European developed, because they do take quite a few influences from sort of American and Japanese games, but then someone opens their mouth and you just get a nice little reminder that yes, these are very British games for a very British audience. If you're not familiar with Thalamus, by the way, they started life as the software publishing arm of a magazine publisher. So it was Newsfield Publications, I think, who published Crash and Zap, which were the big C64 and Spectrum magazines of the era. So Thalamus was spun off from them to kind of do something a bit different. Actually get into software publishing. Kind of a case of, well, if you don't know what we're doing, then why don't you do it yourself? And they went, okay then. Right. Time for some waggling. then have to defeat the enemies along the way. Because... oh, that's so annoying. You then have to defeat the enemies along the way, because apparently although you can crash through sets of buffers by going fast enough, you can't just run over a little hedgehog thing. Or whatever that's supposed to be. Sentient pile of poo. Come on, get up. Get up. There we go. No! This game, I can confidently say, was a bloody nightmare to test. Prior to release. Because we had to make sure it was working. And then there's a bunch of obtuse mechanics in this. Like, if you don't collect that oil... if you don't collect that oil can at the start of the level... you will just die when you reach the little rail cart, and it doesn't tell you why. It just kills you. Right, I think we have to use the keyboard to enter our name here. So there we go. Right, let's have another go. See if we can get a little bit further. It makes no attempt to explain why this is why this game starts in 1951 either. Implying that there's some time travelling going on, but again, not really making any effort whatsoever to explain it, because, I mean, who cares, I guess. Oh, damn it. See what I mean about everything killing you in this game? Yes, plumes of water kill you in this game. I guess aardvarks really hate being slightly clean. Yeah, the music's really good. Thalamus had a lot of really good game composers who worked with... I don't know if they were on Thalamus staff, but I think they just sort of happened to work with them a lot, because Thalamus was a publisher and they worked with several different development companies, of whom the most famous was probably Apex Computer Productions, who made Retrograde, which we just saw, and Creatures. Oh dear, this is a disaster. I've lost over half my lives and I'm not even halfway through the level. But yeah, they had some really good musicians among the people who worked with them. The guy who made Hunter's Moon was one of them. So he was a good game programmer, but he was also very good at making game music as well on the C64. Good old Sid chip. Come on, I can do this. Damn it. Damn it! Two lives left. I'm not overly confident we're going to beat this level, but let's see. From this point, it's actually relatively straightforward to the end of the level. There's a nasty jumping sequence you have to do right at the end. It's not horrendously difficult in terms of enemies. Right. Waggle time. Death by a seemingly unavoidable bird. I don't know why. I don't know why that power bar goes up to like a. Oh, damn it! I don't know why it goes up to a full circle, because however much you waggle, it will never go any further than halfway. Where's the other one gone? Oh, he's gone. Okay. Bonk, bonk. We've got some nasty eagles coming up, haven't we? Let's see if we can deal with them first. Where are you? Oh, I'm dead again. I'm dead again. I have beaten the first level of this before. But it's clearly not something I can do every time. Right. One more go. And then we'll maybe do something else instead. Rather than bashing my head against a brick wall that is this game. I like this game. It's just very difficult. Very difficult. Oops. Which we talked about the reasons for before on my videos. Because these games often only had a few levels, they needed to be difficult to make sure that there was plenty of longevity there. To make sure that people felt they had value for money. Because pretty much every magazine review at the time liked to do sort of heavily I guess you call them sort of subdivided scores, and value for money was often one of those factors. You tend to have graphics, sound, playability, and then you'd have either longevity or value for money. And so it was quite rare to come across a game that you would finish the first time you played. But if you did, it would probably get criticised. Which is a similar situation to today, but not identical, because today we do have games that are deliberately designed to be short, one-shot, complete in a sitting experiences. There's a lot of indie games fall into that category, particularly narrative-centric ones. I'm thinking stuff like To the Moon is a good example. I played To the Moon, played it all in one sitting, cried my eyes out. And I think it was particularly effective because I chose to do it all in one sitting. Whereas if you reviewed that on the standards of 80s and 90s game magazines, that would have probably gotten like 2 out of 10 for longevity. Yes, I remember that actually. Sonic 2 being on the news for someone beating it in one day, on the day they bought it. Because apparently what a lot of people fail to realise, even at that point, is that most games were very short. I think in Sonic 2's case, it suffered from people comparing it to Super Mario World. Because Sonic and Mario were always rivals from Super Mario World onwards, but Super Mario World and Sonic 1, and by extension then Sonic 2 and onwards, took a very different approach to gaming. Mario took the approach of a long, ongoing adventure that you'd save your progress in, and you'd play a bit at a time, and you wouldn't get through it in one sitting. You probably could get through Super Mario World in one sitting if you took the absolutely optimal route and skipped most of it. But like, you're not going to do all 96 exits on Super Mario World in one go. Whereas the Sonic games are always designed in the same sort of fashion as arcade games. Which is why you've got the lives, it's why you've got the score, it's why you've got the special stages that let you earn continues, it's why so many of your rewards in Sonic are extra lives. Because yeah, a lot of people will probably play it with save states today, and modern collections like Sonic Origins set it up in such a way that you can play it as a sort of long-term project, but it's still a really short game, and that was not unusual. So I'm not sure why everyone was so surprised when that happened and why it made the news. But I guess it was just like a price thing. People saw, oh, this game costs 40 quid. Oh no, that is incorrect. Yeah, people saw this game costs 40 quid and someone beat it in 2 hours. And that was seen as poor value for money. Which, I don't know, I guess maybe it is. Your average 2-hour indie experience tends not to be 40 quid. Oh, I've done that wrong again. Right, what we have to do here is we have to leap, we have to wait, and then we have to... There we go, that's how you do it. So again, this game is short. This game is only 8 levels. Collect HP 7 batteries for the matter transporter. This game is short, it's only 8 levels. But you can see how difficult it is. So... Uh-oh. Maybe we go the other way. Let's try the other way. Or maybe not. Well, this is a dastardly little sequence, isn't it? Right, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. No! How very annoying. Oh, damn it. Yeah, so I guess if you knew what you were doing in this game, you could finish it in half an hour or whatever. But you're not going to. You are not going to. Because it is obscenely difficult. Continue, yes or no? At least we have a continue system. So that's something. 7 credits, which is moderately generous. Just need to get into the rhythm of it, I guess. Okay. Although interestingly, you seem to start a continue with fewer lives than you do when you start the game normally. Not sure what that's about. Avoid. Let's have a look over here. Alright, making a bit more progress this time. No! Oh. This game. I feel like my balloon shouldn't burst if he shoots me in the basket. But, well, who am I to argue? I think let's try and get to the upper left this time, because it looks like there's some darts or something there, which I think are a different weapon. Okay, not that way then. So up here and around. No! You can see them ahead of time, that's what makes it difficult. So you can see all these things that are going to kill you ahead of time and just not quite be able to move out of the way in time. Oh, got the darts. I don't know how, because I didn't touch them. Right, I can now switch back and forth with those darts, or I think they're missiles actually. Yeah, they're homing missiles. But you only have a limited number of them. Because why give the player nice things? They do seem to kill most stuff in one hit though, which is nice. Nothing down there. Oh, no! Right, getting the hang of this. Okay. It's a start. I shouldn't waste time on killing stuff that you don't need to kill. I think is an important lesson I need to learn. Because otherwise you're just putting yourself in a position where you're putting yourself in danger unnecessarily. Now there are obviously some that you do need to kill, like these cannons here. I would say killing them is probably necessary. Right, now we got our missiles. Pew! Pew! Okay. I guess it must have circled round and come back to destroy him. I'll be charitable and assume that. Firing these at stuff that's off screen is proving very effective. Oh, we have a spammer. Let's just get rid of them. I can figure out how to moderate them from where I am. There we go. There wasn't anything particularly helpful over to the right. There was that nasty Cupid thing there, though. And now he's dead. Alright, progress. Progress. I'm out of missiles. Maybe some more. I've got used to them. I don't know where I'm going. Oh no, another one of you. I don't like you. Oops! Oh dear. Don't land in the water. Oh, actually, the enemy with the bow and arrow doesn't actually kill you if the enemy touches your balloon. It's only if one of the arrows it shoots gets you. So that's something, I guess. But I think we're still going to die. Death. We're making progress. We're making gradual progress. Alright. No! Forget him. Just forget about him. Here's my sack. No! Oh dear. This one you can actually position yourself. Yeah, you can position yourself out of the way of its firing arc. Alright, good, good, good. Not that way. For the cannons around here. Classic memorization based game we got going on here, it seems. Oops, walked right into that one. Oh no, don't like you. Go away. I do like the way the missiles sort of circle around them. That's quite fun. Right, was there anything down this one? I don't think there was there? No, that's just a dead end. No. Relatively straightforward to kill, at least. They only take one shot. Alright, then round the bottom. Don't fall in the water. Several of the ants just seem to have disappeared randomly. I guess they're just there as an obstacle. I'd say the spikes are probably suggesting the way we need to go, maybe, possibly. I can't fit through there. Maybe I was wrong. We still need this battery or whatever it is we're looking for. And we're dead again. Right, 3 credits to go. It's the furthest we've got. Right, we do unfortunately need to kill this spider at the beginning because otherwise we can't fit through that gap. But we can leave the ant. Tough to avoid him. Very tough to deal with that particular one. This one's fine, because you can stay out of its firing arc. And grab some missiles. No! Having such a huge sprite in this level is a real liability. I say it wouldn't be quite so bad if it was just the if it was just the balloon that was detecting collisions, but no. No. Take damage from anything. And it is death for you, Nobby. Alright, nothing over there. What I'd really like is some more of these missiles, because they're really good. Wish it would auto switch you back to your sandbags as well. That would make life a little bit easier. No! Don't fall in the water. avoid the spikes. No! Yeah, the grey ones just disappear when you get up here for some reason. I'm not complaining. Right, it wasn't that way, was it? Maybe it's this way. This looks maybe promising. Oh, no, ant. And cannon. That's not what I want. Can I fit through there? Just. Nope. No. I'm pretty sure the asterisks kill you. Because everything else does. Oh, hello. Have I found it? How do I get in there without touching the spiky things? That's going to kill me if I try and go in there, isn't it? Well, in for a... Yep. Just had to confirm that for myself. Alright, so we need something before we go in there. Because this is what happens in the first level. If you don't have the oil can, there's a line of those asterisks that you bang your head on and it just kills you and it doesn't tell you why. And it's because you don't have an item you need. Yeah, I'm not sure where you start with 7 lives on continues, but you start the actual game with 10 lives. Whoops. It's a little bit mean, but you know, I'll get over it. No, I don't know how you avoid him. Oh, it's going very poorly. It's going very poorly. Overthinking that, and it cost me dearly. No way I'm getting through the rest of this with 2 lives. No! Oh, 1 life. Nope, that's that. Right, last credit. This is it. No. I was just about to say the word smooth opening. Right, that's how you avoid him. You just... because he takes a moment to trigger. So, oh, I don't know how you deal with this thing, though. Other than... like that. Which is still costing you a life to do it. For some reason when you die there, it automatically gives you the missiles. Again, I'm not complaining. Just a little strange is all. Oh, being careless now. I think this is all over. No, think positive. It's clearly fine. Everything's fine. I'm going the wrong way anyway. Right, you get out of here. It was just a little bit more predictable what the missiles were going to fire at, because it seems to fire at stuff off screen sometimes. Rather than the, you know, the thing you're right next to. It might actually be the thing you want to kill. Right, carefully. Okay. We're moving and grooving. Okay, not that one. I don't know where this battery is the thing. I guess we got to find that before we get to the end of the level. It's not up there. Okay, so it must be somewhere in this last section. But not going all the way to the right. No, no! Oh, I still got another life. I thought that was the end of it. But it's not. We're fine. It's all fine. No, it's not. Oh, dear me. Congratulations, Nobby. You've got a big one. A high score, that is. Right. Okay, I've been going for a couple of hours. I think I'm satisfied that this all seems to be working correctly. So, thank you to those of you who have stopped by. I have seen there's been a couple of lurkers in the chat as we were going. So, do feel free to say hello if you're in the chat and you're watching, or if you've got any questions about what we're playing here. But I think after a couple of hours, I'm going to take a break here. So, I'm going to try and do this a bit more regularly from now on, because I enjoyed this and I've got a decent setup for doing this now. Like I said at the start of the stream, I was hoping to do some UFO 50 on this, but unfortunately my streaming PC, which is just a mini PC because it's my work PC that's up in my study, is not quite up to the job of running UFO 50 and OBS at the same time, which is unfortunate. It's not that it doesn't run, it just runs a little bit too slowly and it's not quite right, and I wasn't completely satisfied with that as something to do on a stream. So we did this instead, and I think there's a lot of scope in the Evercade library for doing stuff. I'll do some Atari stuff at some point as well. So yeah, do feel free to, whatever it is you do on Switch, it's not subscribe, is it follow? I think it's follow. Follow me. And subscribe on YouTube as well while you're on, if you're not already. And then, yeah, I guess that's it. It just remains for me to say, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.